Welcome to Talking Business. I'm your host, Darcey Edwards with Queen Bee Leadership Training. Talking Business is just that. We are talking business with business leaders, leaders in the community, and those who change their communities with entrepreneurship. This podcast is presented by Xpose Hope as a thank you to the business community. Catch us on all the platforms. Find us, follow us, and review us. Welcome, this is Talking Business, and I'm your host, Darcey Edwards, and today we are talking with a photographer and also nonprofit leader in the Hillsboro area, Roland, Salas. Thank you, and welcome for coming today to Talking Business.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So you're learning, I'm guessing, being a photographer and running a nonprofit is very similar in business?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it seems like it's a lot of networking. It's a lot of just kind of the community, really. It's a lot of it's kind of building relationships with the community, it seems like.
So talk about your nonprofit.
Yeah. So the nonprofit was created to just help men be better husbands, fathers, sons, brothers, all of it. I didn't grow up with a father. And so after kind of a divorce and going through breakups, I realized that I didn't know how to be a man. No one ever taught me.
Right.
I didn't know how to love my wife. I didn't know how to be a good father. So after failing and failing, I realized something's got to change, right? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over. So I had to look at my life and kind of reorganize things a little bit. And so I realized that a lot of other men didn't know how either.
Right, they don't teach that in school.
Yeah.
They don't say like, be a man 101, or they taught a lot of like home ec.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Stuff I don't need. I've never cooked. I had other people do it.
So a young man, though, without a father figure, you have, sports? But if you're not in sports, you have social media, TV, music.
Right.
And that's who you're looking at for guidance. And it's like, well, that's no wonder it's failing.
Right. It's going down that rabbit hole. What is your nonprofit called?
My Father.
My Father.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I feel like it's the umbrella of everything.
Wonderful. And is it got a place? What are some of your programs that you do?
So right now, we just do kind of like a support group.
Okay.
It's Monday nights, and we meet via Zoom.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
we just kind of, we have a Facebook group, and so I pull stuff from the Facebook group and we discuss it. So like a conversation would be like, why can't men cry? And we'll break that down. What is masculinity versus toxic masculinity?
Right. Yeah. You're okay, wives who need help.
Yeah. No,
It
it
doesn't sound horrible, but sometimes you got to train up your men, and they haven't been trained up, right? And you're not going to do it because you're not going to listen to you. I've been married 31 years.
Yeah.
I got the stripes. So it's okay to send your men to other people. Well, they will listen to them. And that's the same in business, right? You have mentors, you have people that you have kind of guided, who've guided you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So talk about your photography business and how those two kind of meld together.
Yeah, so I met with a photographer here in town. She does it full time and has her studio, and I was kind of telling her about my life and what niche I want to go into, and she's like, well, do you just shoot men? And I was like, no. And she's like, well, why not? Like, it sounds like your whole passion in life is all around men. And then that's when we kind of started doing men in business suits, and they present kind of, our great-grandfathers used to have portraits done.
Yes.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
So if you think about why a man doesn't want a photo, what is it that they don't want? And I think it's they don't want to look at themselves and realize they're not the potential they know they could be.
That's awesome. Well, and I love it too because you did bring in this other nugget for business of defining what you're really good at and sticking with that and going down that lane instead of saying, well, I do everything. I photograph trees and dogs and no, I'm really, really good at this and I can capture their essence. That is part of business, is being able to do that and define and refine down into finding the one thing that you're really good at.
Yeah, no, it's, to me, a portrait is, like a lot of photographers like pictures. Right. I like to take a portrait. It's something that will represent that person long after they're gone.
Right.
So I don't try to do a fancy pose or a fancy background. Like, just be you, because this is what your great-great-grandkids are going to remember you by.
Right. No, that's absolutely true. Like in the, I go through photos all the time.
Okay, yeah.
And and they're always, why were they so stoic? Were they that unhappy back then? No, that's what a portrait looked like then. So what is one of your biggest things that you've learned that now you're like, oh my gosh, had I implemented this 8 months ago or whatever, I would have been
Yeah,
so
well, I
much
think
further ahead.
touching on networking and working with other photographers in my network and other nonprofits, very early in my career, I pushed everyone away. I
Right.
saw them as competition. I wanted nothing to do with them, keep far away from me, but now I realize that hindered my growth.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And I love that where you said networking. Every single episode we have ever done talks about networking. And so we will do a training on how to network.
Yeah.
But I love that. And I love the fact that you said that's a fear thing, right? When you say, oh my gosh, there's all these photographers, it's super competitive, and I'm going to push them away instead of pulling them in because they may not do very well with the essence of men. Or they're like, I don't like shooting guys. I want to shoot women, and I want to shoot kids, and I want to do weddings. I don't want to do that. Oh my gosh, Roland's phenomenal. Can he do X, Y, and Z? And so I love that.
Yeah.
That you understand that competition isn't always competition. Okay, so side note, little training. When your hand is like this, it's hard to get money in, right? When your hand is open and you're open to talking to other people, money likes to pile itself on.
I believe it. Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
I love it. And so you said you have classes for men and they're on Zoom. How do people get a hold of you if they want to say, oh, hey, honey, like, maybe you should check out this meeting?
Yeah. So if you go to www.my-father.com, you can join the community and they become a member, and then they get on the email list and they get the emails with the Zoom links and everything like that.
And what time?
7:30 on Monday nights.
7:30 Monday nights. Do you
Yep.
ever do anything in person? Or?
So sometimes we do men meetups, like a guys' night out type of thing.
Oh, nice.
Right now we're working with Alex and doing some golfing. I think coming up next the 16th of November. I think.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
So what is your plans and future for your business, for the photography world? Where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to branch all the way over into just shooting men, but just kind of growing them both, just kind of the photography. I still shoot families and portraits and headshots and stuff like that, but eventually I'd love to combine them and just shoot men in business suits and that kind of be my niche,
Yeah, absolutely. I can see it happening. Roland, thank you for coming and sharing your vision and your dream and this so needed area of serving men. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Xpose Hope believes in being part of the community, and for that reason, we like to give back to our community and our donors. We run sites on Facebook called All About Hillsboro, All About Beaverton, All About Tigard, All About Vancouver, All About Salem, and so on. We do this so that the community can be strong, and through All About Hillsboro, we actually helped save several businesses during the COVID pandemic. So, if you'd like to help us be part of the solution in the community, connect with us at www.xposehope.com/donate. That is XPOSCHOPE.com/donate. That's your donation dollars at work.
Thank you for listening to Talking Business, brought to you by Xpose Hope. We can be found on all of your favorite podcast platforms, YouTube, iTunes, all of them. Also, be sure to like us, share us, and leave a comment. Who do you want to hear from? We want to know.